Eric Prince is the son of a wealthy industrialist who made his fortune with the lighted visor for cars. He's a very wealthy guy. He can create toys. He can go do things that other people have to get backing for.
Eric Prince has long-standing ties to the conservative movement, particularly on the Christian Coalition side.
He does fund, and his family does fund, right-wing Republican candidates and programs.
Eric Prince's sister is married into the DeVos family, which is one of the largest contributors to Republican causes in the country. Contributions to those members of Congress who really do control the purse strings. You put all of that together, and it's a pretty good business plan for a company that's in the type of business that they do in this particular day and age.
What we know that as a general rule, money and power go together. You pay influence money in the form of campaign contributions, helping those in power stay in power, so they'll keep giving you favors and, frankly, money.
Eric was an intern in the White House for Bush 1. Said that there were things going on there that were a little far left for him.
And really, what this amounts to is just cronyism and no bid contracts. Not only that, let's talk just briefly about the new weapons that they're coming out with. In 2007, we were warned, and recently the London Telegraph reported that military killer robots could endanger civilians. Terminator-style machines that decide how, when, and to kill are just around the corner, warns Noel Sharkey, a professor of artificial intelligence and robotics at the University of Sheffield. Far from helping to reduce casualties, their use is likely to make conflict and war more common and lead to major escalations in numbers of civilian deaths. And they're coming out with these ray guns. And there was a good expose done on mainstream media about these ray guns. Let's check this out.
What if we told you the Pentagon has a ray gun? And what if we told you it can stop a person in his tracks without killing or even injuring him? Well, it's true. You can't see it, you can't hear it, but I can tell you firsthand, you feel it. And we're going to show you how it works tonight. Pentagon officials call it a major breakthrough which could change the rules of war and save huge numbers of lives in Iraq. But it's still not there. That's because in the middle of a war, the military just can't bring itself to trust a weapon that doesn't kill.
It's a gun that doesn't look anything like a gun. It's that flat dish antenna which shoots out a 100,000-watt beam at the speed of light, hitting anything in its path with an intense blast of heat.
Roger, I'm ready for a 100% shot, 3 seconds on the CLT.
Watch what happens when the electromagnetic beam made up of very high-frequency radio waves takes on that black board. The operator uses a joystick to zero in on his target. The effect is instant, but visible only with an infrared camera and seen on this laptop.
Engage.
The ray gun fires, and there it is, that flash of white-hot energy.
We are now stepping into the Buck Rogers scenario.
Buck Rogers, this is a ray gun.
This is, for all intents and purposes, a ray gun.
Colonel Kirk Himes is in charge of the ray gun, which is being tested at Moody Air Force Base in South Georgia.
Go!
The targets here are people, military volunteers creating a scenario soldiers might encounter in Iraq. Angry protesters advancing on American troops who have to choose between backing down or opening fire. Off in the distance, a half-mile away, the operator of the ray gun has the crowd in his sights.
Individual, this is your final warning. leave area now. We will not leave. You leave.
Unlike the soldiers on the ground, he has no qualms about firing away because his weapon won't injure anyone. He squeezes off a blast.
Get out! Get out of here!
The first shot hits like an invisible punch.
Get out of here! We're not leaving!
The protesters regroup, and he fires again. And again. Finally, they've had enough. The ray gun drives them away with no harm done. Officially called the active denial system, it does penetrate the body, but just barely.
So what happens when that beam hits me?
It's absorbed in the top layer, 1/64th of an inch, which is about 3 sheets of paper that you'd find in your printer.
And it's hitting what inside that 1/64th of an inch?
Right within that 64th of an inch is where the nerve endings are.
You have to feel the ray gun to believe it, and there's only one way to do that.
Engage, engage.
Now you can see where this guy was affected by that ray gun, and you might say to yourself, you know, they would never use this stuff against U.S. citizens. Well, if you really believe that, think again, because in 2009, LRAD sound weapons were used, that are used in the Iraq War, were used against the American people at the G20 summit in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania earlier this year. Check out what they did when they rolled out these sound weapons on the American people.
By order of the City of Pittsburgh Chief Police, I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. I order all those assembled to immediately disperse. You must leave the immediate vicinity. If you remain in this immediate vicinity, you will be in violation of the Pennsylvania Crimes Code. No matter what your purpose is, you must leave. If you do not disperse, you may be arrested and or subject to other police action. Other police action may include actual physical removal, the use of riot control agents and or less lethal munitions, which could cause risk of injury to those who remain. By order.
Go back to Kentucky!
I mean, I can't even play that long. I mean, this is an all-out war against the American people. I mean, they're unleashing these weapons on us. The war is here. They've turned the guns toward us now. And it's all because of this fake war on terror. And I want to talk about, you know, the global elite are behind this. Take a look into it for yourself. I mean, take a look into it for yourself. You know, and these same families that fund both sides of the war are the ones that are implementing the New World Order, a one world government. They're the one that uses fear, because fear is their tool of control. They got to keep people fearful in order for them to engage in all their military-industrial complex and the police state that we're seeing unfold right here in America. Now, Rockefeller is one of these families that is one of the more known families of the global elite, and they try to recruit people all the time.